Welcome in to another edition of the Meltdown as we are live here with you on this Wednesday. We have our first ever Meltdown Triple Threat Tornado Tag Team Trivia Draft today. Partners will be picked, perspectives will be shared, negotiations will transpire, and the field will be set as we have a pair of tag team champions that have yet to be challenged. That soon will change. Another round of 10 with Tim will lead us into several random topics with our all-star panel, and Lunce's List will take us back to Woodstock and look back at some of the most prolific music acts to ever perform at some of the most notorious shows ever. It's happening right here on The Meltdown as we're presented by MyBookie, broadcasting live from the Culver studio.
Two big boys in a tiny studio, teaching you and me about everything they know to make sound a meltdown. It's the meltdown, time for the meltdown, coming for the meltdown. Let's start the show.
Welcome in, lovely Meltdonians, to this little pop culture campfire that we call the Meltdown, here with you every single day, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. So happy to have you here as we have a stacked group of contributors today here in the studio with us, and we're very excited about that. The other half of the Meltdown, that is Mr. John Lunceford. John, you are in your Zen moment here.
I'm just waiting to see what kind of complicated rules you have for this trivia draft, because trivia itself is very complicated. I can't imagine a draft around it. You will not tell us anything going into it, so I don't know what we're doing.
All right, pick a number between 1 and 500, and then we'll give you the category of trivia partner you can draft.
I am really growing quite tired of the attitude that I've been experiencing here lately from everyone associated with this whole thing. I may blow up the whole league, but not yet, because we have too many rules to get to first with our draft, and we will get to that here quite shortly. Mm-hmm. One thing I want to bring up is tonight, John, we see Beetlejuice. Are you any more excited about it since the last time we talked?
Nope. I mean, it's a movie. We will consume this movie. I don't necessarily expect to hate it. I don't necessarily expect to love it. I expect to walk out and say, yep, that was a film that we watched on the first Wednesday of September, and what comes out next week.
I am pretty much right there with you, but I am having a little bit more of a positive outlook in that I'm open to enjoying it more. Maybe you are open to enjoying it. Maybe I'm misinterpreting.
Open to enjoyment. I just don't enjoy a lot of things.
That is true. Tyler, you're very excited about Beetlejuice. It is one of your most anticipated. By the way, pay no respect to Spud over here, like with seeing him on your screen. He only pops up when we mention his name 3 times. How excited are you for this movie, Tyler?
Well, I was more excited, but I don't know. It feels like y'all are trying to kill my excitement for this movie.
Go be excited for it. My wife is so super excited, and I'm not going to take away from her enjoyment. I'm just going to sit there and be quiet.
Yeah, I wish I was more excited. I wish I was your level of excited about this. I'm envious of your excitement. I feel like it's a little bit more of a chore, and we host a movie podcast, and I don't want to feel that way about any movie ever. I'm just not a huge Beetlejuice fan. So if I walk away going, this is really good, then, I mean, that'll be straight from the heart. So I'm hoping that is the case. It is targeting a $100 million plus opening weekend, which would be one of the biggest September debuts of all time.
I don't know about that. I'd say like 80 to 90. Not quite 100.
This is where we're at with the target. Okay, there's nothing else to see. You know this.
No, I know.
So it's going to soak in a lot of things. It's going to have the premium format screens. It is going to be competing against, college football and pro football and all this kicking up into gear.
Not many movies it's competing against, though.
That is true.
If anything.
That is true. The only September movie that's opened up over $100 million is what? Do y'all know the answer?
Oh, Lord. It's not much of a movie month, so I don't really know.
It's It. It's It. It's not what, it's It. It is the only one that's opened up. And second on that list, just under $100 million, was It Chapter 2. So It has dominated the month of September.
Those were both September and not October.
I feel like
I know you get more longevity out of it going into Halloween.
Beetlejuice, Pennywise, I mean, there's some similarities there.
I mean, yeah, a little bit.
We're going to see how well it does this weekend, but right now $100 million is sort of what it's being projected to do, which I think would be a huge, huge hit
I have to
for
live
that movie.
an unnatural love of both of those, and I don't really like it, but
some people have said that there's an unnatural love between these two entities that I'm about to bring up. John, it's not Alabama Dental Associates, so you can quit with the mouse. It is Taylor Swift's boyfriend and Kansas City Chief Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the drama surrounding this whole thing. I'm going to set the stage here, and then I'm going to let you
drama.
And then I'm going to let you sort of bring this thing home. But there's a lot of people circulating some information that doesn't seem to be legitimate.
Correct.
And even in our group chat, we just had somebody
that was shared.
This.
Name the name of the page it was shared from.
I don't know the name.
It was shared from a page called Fake Sports Center, and it was shared as something that was fact. So it's like,
Well, I mean, this is the age we live in, right?
Hold on. Yeah, okay. Let me think about that.
This is the age we live in, and I think it's worth discussing. There's no doubt that when it comes to, major high-profile couples, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, they are right up there at number one, in all the sensationalism that surrounds them and their love affair. But this is what's happening right now. Travis Kelce's PR team has gotten lawyers to get on the case of a leaked contract that claimed the relationship was staged, with plans to officially break up later this month. A strategy document alleging to come from PR company Full Scope Public Relations alleged the couple's relationship was simply for publicity, and they had planned a media strategy for a breakup on September 28th of this month. The PR firm has denied the documents, claiming they are fake, and have called in lawyers saying the documents were entirely false and fabricated and were not created, issued, or authorized by this agency. The representative also said they have called in lawyers, though they are not expected to maybe find the culprit. They say, quote, "We have engaged our legal team to initiate proceedings against the individuals or entities responsible for the unlawful and injurious forgery of documents." So, what do you know about this to this point, John? Because there have been some people here in the Disrupt offices who have said this is a PR stunt from day one.
And they've been wrong and wanting it to be a PR stunt from day one. There's a lot I could say about all of that, but I'm not going to. It's, people who were just mad that she's on TV for, 30 seconds within a football game, and people lose their mind over it. They want to hate Taylor Swift for a lot of different reasons, because she's bigger than your favorite artist. She doesn't have the same political views as you do, and she is just so massively big that you're tired of hearing about her. So pretty much already been put out there. This is all fake. Somebody could put that out there. I could float something like this out there, and people would run with it because they want to run with it. And that's just how it is. And I will say Travis has terrible publicists, like absolutely terrible publicists, and he has the whole time. But outside of that, there's literally nothing you can do to prove this is true.
There's a lot of people, though, that do believe this is the biggest story in entertainment right now, because you're talking about the most high-profile relationship in pop culture currently. I think it is worth bringing to the table here, but there's nothing that you've seen that tells you that this has any sort of authenticity to it.
There's nothing anybody has seen that says there's any authenticity to it, and once you can prove that, then show it to me, and I will look at it. But you know what? It doesn't exist.
All right. Producer Tyler here with us. Tyler, we are going to sort of swap gears here to Joker 2, because the first reviews are rolling in from the Venice Film Festival on Joker 2. And I would declare that they are mixed to this point. The reviews have been very mixed. Some people have really enjoyed it. Some people have really loathed it. What does this do for you going into it? Does it hurt your hype at all? It doesn't change a thing for you.
No, I've been cautious on this movie since day one, really, since they announced that it would be a musical. And I'm still right there, still cautious on if they can pull it off or not in a satisfying way.
John, we've seen Warner Brothers and Todd Phillips himself, and even Lady Gaga trying to sort of pull back on the musical elements of this, saying it's not really a full-fledged musical like it's kind of being portrayed. A lot of the early reactions say this is indeed a musical. It cannot really be looked at as anything else. And
it doesn't really shock us,
yeah.
But they have not marketed it that way. We have talked about it not being marketed that way. And, we have even friends we've talked about. What would X think about this? What would Y think about this? Knowing what we know and what everybody is now saying, that it is 100% a musical.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's, I don't even want to touch it at that point. And sometimes it's, well, I'll give it a chance. It just kind of depends on the person.
A lot of what I've heard so far, and I think John will back this up based on what we've read here early on, is that they kind of commend it for being different than the original.
Oh, man.
Well, that's a positive in their mind, that it's like...
It's not, though.
It's not following the same formula is what I would say.
The reviews I've read have said they commend it for doing, going musical is different, but that Joker 1 was so, shocking, like the shock value of certain kills and stuff like that, that this doesn't do that. Or it doesn't do that the way a sequel should, as in it should do more. You should improve on that. Not that that doesn't exist, but they don't improve on that.
Yeah.
And that can be a positive or negative, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it.
I might be a little cold on this movie now.
Okay.
Just because the first praise was it's different from the last one. That sounds more like you're trying to find something good to say about it rather than just commenting on what you saw.
I think the consensus so far is that they commend it for not just playing the hits, but they wish they would have swung even bigger than they did.
It's funny because they actually play the hits in it.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it's a jukebox. Anyway, the one thing I've seen almost everybody commend of the movie, even in negative reviews, has been the production of it, the production design, the cinematography, the music, the score, not necessarily like the musical numbers, but that's something that I think was very well received in the first one and seems to be very well received in this one.
All right, John, now it's time to get ready. If you'd like to put a smile on your face, there's only one place that I would recommend. That's Alabama Dental Associates. That's the team that I trust most, located on Grants Mill Road. Dr. Jeff and Dr. Brian over at Alabama Dental Associates will take care of you with their professional care, and they are extremely flexible with your schedule, making sure that they're open late Monday through Thursday, hours of availability on Friday and Saturday. You also have Dr. Nolan, who's joined the team, graduating from the UAB School of Dentistry in the top 10% of his class, and he is here from Pensacola, Florida, and has added so much to the community already with his volunteer efforts. Reach out and try Alabama Dental Associates for yourself. They're accepting new patients now. You can go ahead, reach out to them at 205-956-8977. That's 956-8977. Or you can visit alabamadental.com, where they look forward to seeing you. All right, we've already seen Spud on camera, so I want to officially welcome in the Spudinator to the program. Spud, you look very comfortable.
I've tried to make myself comfortable. I saw John with the Zen look, and so I'm trying to emulate that because he is. Are you still the defending singles champion?
I am not, Tyler. I lost it to Vernon, and then Vernon forfeited it, and Tyler won.
Well, it's been passed around.
I've only competed once since May, so I'm looking forward to challenging you again in the arena at some point.
All right. I'm ready.
Tyler is someone who you have a lot of history with, Spud.
I do.
Being tag team partners. A lot of people maybe would point to that tag team episode being what propelled Tyler to what is now a singles run that he's on, being world champion himself, having the trophy in hand and getting ready to defend that.
It's in the other office.
It is in the other office, so it will eventually make its way back in here at some point. But he's a fighting champion, but he's going to have to wait for a little while because we've got some tag team trivia competitors that we're going to link up here today on a draft edition of Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia. It should be a lot of fun, should be a lot of excitement, and I will be going over very shortly here all the rules and intricacies to make sure that this league continues to properly function. I do have to welcome in another participant here into the draft, and that is someone who you really, it's been a hard job ignoring him this long because of how audacious his wardrobe is. Audacious, obnoxious, whatever you want to use to describe it. Brian Pavlik is here, and Brian's taken on sort of a new mantra.
He's been in character the entire time, by the way. We're 14 minutes in. He's been in character the whole time.
I don't know what deal.
Hey, yeah. Sorry, agent said I was a high draft pick. What's going on?
Have you recently come into money, or what is going on here? Because you look like you have a very different type of appearance than in previous editions of the
Draft
Meltdown.
day, you got to look your best.
Yeah.
And I got the clean cut on Friday, thanks to the local barbershop back home down I-65 South. I got the jacket at a nice thrift store kind of thing, wearing the Red Dragons, the shoes, and the chain is from my son. So it's a good luck charm, and looking forward to this draft. Looking forward to a high pick and whatever city I'm ready to represent them.
You sound like you operate a lot of riverboat casinos. That's the way you sound right now.
Should I change the accent?
Stick with it for a little while.
Well, we could go more. You know, it's a good day. It's going to be a great draft. I'm very excited about playing for Jersey, and it's going to be one of those things, man. I feel very safe with the community. I feel very safe at home, and just peace and love to everybody out there. It's going to
Y'all
be great.
didn't tell me this was going to be the Halloween edition. I had no idea.
But my
It's
believer
only
says,
September.
God, Pavlik's reminded me of when The Rock returned in 2003 from filming The Scorpion King and was too Hollywood for everyone.
You started off there. You had a entirely. You sounded like you were going to go into Dusty Roads, and then it ended
did
up
kinda sound that way.
being more Goodwill Hunting.
If you will, we could get into this.
Let's do that.
Let's
That's
stay
the
in
money
this kind
right
of character. The problems with the draft in the world. See, common times and the common man. The Thoreaus, baby.
there. Yes.
American Dream. Take a BC powder when you get a headache.
Let's stick with that. Okay.
All right.
If you look, I don't know. Do we have a shot of the board here?
We do.
We're going to get into why all these names are up on the board. There is one name missing, which I'm a little upset about. Now that I've noticed it, John, do you want to go up there to the board and write it in, or do you want me to tell you off air? How do you want to do this? There's clearly a name missing. It could go right there between Tyler and Boomer, but it's Raul.
It must be a short name then.
Raul needs to be up there, I think. But anyway, maybe we'll include him in a future draft.
He hadn't competed in trivia because it doesn't exist.
Let's go ahead and sort of get the ball rolling here with getting everybody comfortable with another edition of 10 with Tim. I've got 10 questions. We got about 10 minutes, and we have about 10 contributors. Let's go ahead and get into it. John, first question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate jump scares in movies and television?
8.
An 8 out of 10. Spud?
10.
Hate it.
I don't need agitation in my life. I need peace and quiet. You guys are going to get old someday and understand all that I've already learned. And when you are, I'll be in a nursing home hoping I can still hear.
There's a way to properly do them occasionally, but everybody does them now just for the sake of how many times can I get you to go in your seat.
I still think the best jump scare I've ever seen personally is Richard Dreyfuss in Jaws when he's down there and the head pops out of the boat.
That was a good one.
It's a good one. That gets people, even to this day, they are not ready for it. Tyler, you appreciate the horror genre, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate jump scares in movies and television?
I'd say probably like a 5 or a 6. I'll appreciate a good one, like the Richard Dreyfuss and Jaws one, but most of them just feel cheap. I'd rather a good psychological horror.
It has to have
as
meaning. It
opposed
can't just
to
be the dogs
jump
round in
scare.
the corner.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember a movie from way back called A Shot in the Dark? I think
not.
it was one of the earliest. I didn't see the movie. I don't want to be scared.
I think that was an
Life-
Ozzy Osbourne song.
Is it just like a black
Shot
screen
in
and
the
a shot goes
dark.
off?
I think a dead person wakes up.
Oh, man.
Undertaker. Okay.
Spud, this is a family show.
Sorry.
Brian Pavlik, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate jump scares in movies and
I
television?
can do blood, I can do gore, I can do the Saw franchises and all that, but I cannot stand jump scares. 9. I hate jump scares.
You hate them because they're effective, or you hate them because they're annoying?
They're both.
Okay.
I do find myself jumping like, "Ah," but yeah, and then it's like,
So-
stupid.
You're all in on Terrifier 3, is that correct?
By the way,
I did not
speaking of
believe that.
Terrifier 3, are y'all two going on a date to see Terrifier 3? My wife is dying to go to tag along.
Let's
because
go.
I don't
Come on,
want
the triple
anything to,
Terrifiers.
I don't want anything to do with that
Yeah.
movie, and she saw that in the chat and is like, "Can I please go with them? Because I know you're never going to even get remotely close to that movie." So I'm throwing it out there. My wife wants to tag along to whoever wants to go see Terrifier.
There's some other movie opening that week. I think it's Saturday night that opens that week.
I believe that does open the same weekend.
And I cannot choose Terrifier over Saturday night. So I may not
So
be
watch
there.
both.
I can't either. What a coincidence. We actually agreed on
John,
something.
me and you may be going to see a movie together.
Why don't you go with Tyler? He goes like every, 6 hours?
You know, I'm going to go see Piece by Piece, the Lego Pharrell biopic. That also
That
opens
actually is a
weekend.
good choice. The more I see from that movie, the more I think that will be the best biopic of the year by far.
I don't think it'll be bad. I mean, most of those movies typically are pretty good, so I don't think it'll be bad.
Let's go to Tyler for this one. Tyler, do you like coconut flavored items?
Absolutely. Love coconut.
Oh, I hate coconut, but I love Tyler, and that's what's important. We can agree to disagree on that. Brian Pavlik, Do you like coconut flavored items?
Can't say that I have made a purchase by going, does it have coconut in it? Then yes. So no.
Okay. John, where are you on coconut?
I don't really like coconut. However, I randomly had a drink this past weekend that was supposed to be Bomb Pop flavored, and I found out the main ingredient in it was coconut water, and that was what gave it its Bomb Pop flavor, actually, which is kind of weird. It's a sports drink that is a sponsor of WWE that I won't say on this program, and it was really, really good. And I was like, dang, this is like half coconut water, and actually was pretty good. But normally I don't like coconut, so maybe I'm coming around on it. I don't know.
Spud, when you're in the nursing home and they're feeding you all these things that you have no control over, is coconut going to be one of those things that would actually enhance your final days?
As succinctly as I can put this, I'd rather experience a jump scare
Really?
than eat anything that was
Yikes.
coconut flavored.
I'm right there with you. I hate coconut. Anything with coconut. My wife loves coconut products, and I hate coconut products, and it's a major divide in our household. Move on to this. Spud, who would you rather have at your house party? Tom Brady or Martha Stewart? If you had to pick between the two.
Is coconut water back on the? No, I guess Tom Brady, but neither one of those would be anywhere near the upper half of my celebrities list.
I understand that, but out of those two, you'd be like, okay, I guess Tom Brady can come over.
He doesn't have much to offer me, and neither does she.
Tyler?
Unless she'll clean the apartment, then then I'd much rather have her.
Tyler, Tom Brady or Martha Stewart, who would you rather have at your house party?
Martha can cook for me.
There you go.
All right. Well, this show isn't sexist at all. Y'all have her cooking and cleaning.
That's what she does.
Instead of enjoying her for her personality.
What am I going
traits.
to talk to Tom Brady about?
Sports.
I mean,
all that sports.
If you land Tom Brady for the next round, don't you think that would win you a lot of extra brownie points?
I mean, it would, but those guys have a lot more to talk to Tom Brady about than I do.
That's true.
Tyler, do you
I'm
have an
just gonna be
overinflated?
like,
Do you have
you're-
an overinflated football? Because then he'd be good.
I
I think
don't.
it's underinflated is what he
No,
likes.
overinflated.
Well,
so
he'll
he can
deflate
deflate
them,
it
is
some.
what he's saying.
See, there
He
you
wasn't
go.
the one actually doing it. Sorry, I took it literally like, no, if you really want to impress Tom Brady, you just hand him an underinflated football. You don't make him do any of the work. Okay, let's go to Brian Pavlik.
Do you hear a buzz in your ear?
I know, buzzkill joke coming.
No, I'm saying, do you hear a buzz? Actually hear a buzz in your ear?
No.
It went away now. Maybe it's just my earbuds. I don't know. I don't
You
know
were
if it was one
asking
of
a real
I
technical
was. I
question?
didn't know if it was one of the microphones. It just
thought you
started.
were-
Anyway, continue. If it
Do
comes
I need
back,
to
I'll
shake the microphone?
if it comes back, I'll tell you. Continue.
Intricately calling me a
Continue.
buzzkill.
No, I just.
Okay.
I mean that too, but no.
Tom Brady or Martha Stewart, who are you inviting to your Pavlik party?
Well, I mean, let's make the easy decision here. The first instinct, Tyler, you'll appreciate this. I go back to the Martha Stewart on South Park, where we're going to make a little turkey and we're going to just indirectly eat it and all the, oh, God. So that was quite an impressive feat she pulled off on South Park. So Martha Stewart.
Very interesting. I don't know if anyone else will use that as their motivation, but John Lunceford?
No, I will not use that as my motivation. It's an easy choice. It's Martha Stewart, and not even close. I talk enough football. I don't care about talking football. And I would Martha Stewart come in. We can talk about jail. We can talk about Snoop Dogg. We can talk about. I like cooking too, so we can cook together. I would want to cook together and her teach me a few things. Martha Stewart, easy, not even close.
They both share a birthday, by the way. It's not today, but they both have the same birthday. It's in August sometime. Okay, next question. Name the country music musician, Spud, that you like the least.
The least.
One that you go, oh, I don't like that. I never want to listen to that. Ugh.
God, I thought you were going to go with the most. The least. Country music. God. I don't even know the names of the ones that I just turn off immediately.
Okay.
But I have a lot of country music, surprisingly, on my playlist. And
Who doesn't make the cut that it's a very popular act? That you're like, no thanks.
God, I don't know. Hank Williams III?
I don't think
Is there?
I don't think that we have a Hank Williams the
There
third.
was a little
in
Hank
country
Williams.
music.
That was the Walmart yodeler.
I'm
Okay, we'll move on to the next.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll move on to the next participant here. If you think of one,
I shall.
please. Tyler, who is the country music act you dislike the most?
I don't like any of them, so I'm gonna say all of them. But
my answer.
specifically, Luke Bryan, I think is his name. I can't stand that guy's music.
EG's a big Luke Bryan fan, so
That tracks.
okay.
No, it just seems like the kind of music she'd be into. It's not a
This
shot.
sucks. I get why EG like. Oh wait, hold on. What?
Don't send Spud to the nursing home early here, Tyler. It's not like
And that took me by surprise.
That was a
'cause
jump
now
scare.
I've got to. Who was that artist?
Luke Bryan.
I'll have to look into it if EG likes it.
Okay,
All right.
let's move on. Next, Brian Pavlik somehow.
Yeah, the problem is I feel like one of these country artists is going to play our local City Fest soon, so I got to be careful who I choose here. You know, I don't know.
Pick somebody who's dead.
Yeah, I was going to say, who was, was it Aaron Tipton with the mustache from back in the 80s, 90s? We'll say Aaron Tipton.
I don't think it was Aaron Tipton. I thought it was Aaron Tippin.
Aaron Tippin.
Tippin.
Yeah, that guy. He had a mustache. I remember that, right?
Tippin. This guy has a mustache.
He's announced for City Fest in the future. I'm
yeah,
gonna laugh.
let's say him just so that I don't get in trouble.
Okay. John Lunceford.
Well, Tyler took my answer of all of them.
I like country music very much.
I like Chris Stapleton overall, so I can't say all of them, I guess. But the most overrated is Garth Brooks.
Oof.
Like, any Garth Brooks song comes on, click.
Is that just because he
me.
has been so successful, or
Partially
hate the
because I
music?
have to hear it all the time in different forms.
You don't like
that I just-
Alabama?
Alabama has some moments.
Okay.
Come on, John.
Has
Alabama's
its songs
great.
too.
It's
Alabama's
just
great.
not my style.
But did you ever come up with a?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ralph Emery, but that goes back to the 50s, and y'all aren't going to know who that is, so it doesn't matter. The only things I listen to are things I like.
Florida Georgia line?
Yeah, I was gonna say Florida Georgia line.
That'll get a lot of
but
votes,
then again,
but you know who you've offended now.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Florida
saying.
Georgia Line falls into everybody.
I think it's Walker Hayes, I believe is the name of the guy that I set through.
Applebee's.
Opening up, yeah, for which, by the way, Applebee's is out with a awesome new commercial. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but
Also, don't use that song.
the Detroit Lions head football coach is in there.
And James says, so I don't like Taylor Swift. I don't like Taylor Swift's country. I do like Taylor Swift now.
Okay. All right, let's go to this. You're being honored, John, as a celebrity with a deli sandwich that bears your name. What is on the sandwich, and what is the sandwich called? You know, occasionally they have these sort of celebrity sandwiches that you can order. And
I feel like what makes things unique is typically the fixins on them as opposed to just the meat, because
you're not a big fixins.
that's
fixins
standard
guy.
on a lot of different sandwiches. So mine would just have to be a lot of different kind of meat and cheese on it. So it would be, I want to say turkey, pepperoni, salami.
So basically, an Italian BMT from Subway.
Yeah. I mean, just make
And
a
that's what you call it.
I mean, that's kind of where I was going.
Just take a pizza sub.
It's
and
already
we'll-
out there.
Take a pizza sub and we'll call it a day.
Pizza sub.
That, various kinds of cheeses. I mean, I would probably say cheddar and Italian meats work really well together. And I feel like you don't typically get that because you always go like mozzarella or something instead. So I'm gonna go cheddar, cheese, lettuce, because I do like lettuce on a sandwich. And we'll call it the, oh God, I don't know. I'm terrible at coming up with names.
the respect sub.
Respect the sub.
Respect the sub. I like it. All right. Have you been able to think of your celebrity sub?
I don't have. It's not going to be very imaginative, but it would have turkey and ham and provolone and American cheese and combination of mayonnaise and Durkee sauce. Are you familiar with Durkee sauce?
I'm
Yes,
not.
sir.
I'm not. Tell me
Really
more.
good. I'll bring you some next
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
really kind of. What's he got here?
I'll put this sauce on
Durkee's
it. I gotta have
mustard.
some kind
Oh,
of sauce.
Culver signature
So I'm gonna
sauce.
take Culver signature
Oh, so
sauce.
good.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Even though
that's-
this probably wouldn't be at Culver's, I'm gonna take Culver signature sauce and put it on there.
You never know, John. They do have the J.J. Watt meal.
They do.
I'm not big on lots and lots of bread, so I'd like mine in a wrap if I could.
Okay. Yeah,
We'll
you
call
can
the
make that
Spud
happen.
wrap.
I was all on board with Spuds until he started altering it and changing it here. My question to you, Tyler, is what is your celebrity sandwich What does it entail, and what's it called?
My celebrity sub isn't a sub at all.
It's a pizza.
It's a PB&J that's been grilled, like a grilled cheese,
Oh,
with some banana slices on there too. Little grilled peanut butter and banana sandwich.
isn't this kind of what Elvis liked? Wasn't this the Elvis?
I don't know if he grilled it, but I started making grilled
Peanut butter and banana.
Yeah,
You
peanut
know
butter
what
and banana was his thing, but I don't know if he grilled it or not.
I don't know.
Hey, Tyler, see if Martha Stewart could whip us up a couple of those.
Oh, I can make some
I would get
great
Martha to
grilled
help me with
PB&Js.
mine.
Oh, EG's in the window.
Hey, and roll a chair in here too, EG. Roll a chair in. Brian Pavlik, what is your answer to this lovely question?
I was shocked at the look EG gave me, like she hasn't seen a celebrity before. She's on the sidelines all
No,
these
it was a
days,
jump
man.
scare when she saw you is
telling
what it
you.
was.
Dishonorable is what
Like,
she
well,
was.
Dion's one thing, but Brian. Oof.
Yeah, Brian's best would probably be some type of a grilled smoked turkey with provolone. That's always the best. I like some mayonnaise, mustard. Probably the Durkeys. Good call on that one, Spud, for sure. But yeah, nothing fancy. Just a good grilled meat sandwich with some cheese and wheat bread. Sounds good on that one.
I like it. Spud, for some reason, this has been a fantasy that's been running in my mind here constantly, and I'm going to ask you this question. Spud, would you ever try goat yoga? Do you know what goat yoga is?
I know what goats are, and I know what yoga is. How do
Combine
they
the two. So goat yoga is a yoga class where participants interact with goats with a yoga instructor that leads the class, and the goats are often baby goats and are called kids, and the goats are guided by trainers to interact with the students in specific poses.
Why would I waste my time doing that?
Because I think it'd be fun content for us to film.
Oh, now I might do it for that purpose. But
Spud does
if you
goat
said,
yoga.
just
Get down
today,
your hands
look,
and
you
knees
could
and a
go
goat
home and
jump.
Because the goats would appreciate you climbing on their back for once.
My gosh. We haven't even gotten to the draft yet. It's already tense.
Can we put on some Luke Bryan music and do?
Tyler hates Luke Bryan music, EG. And then I said, well, EG loves Luke Bryan. And he goes, well, that tracks.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Spud loves Luke Bryan. Yeah.
EG's not on camera, but the look
I'm
on her
here.
face is not pleasant.
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay. All right,
you,
Spud.
Spud.
Calm down. John, would you ever do goat yoga? Let me guess. You already have.
No, have I not told you my goat almost killed me story?
You did tell me that story, actually.
I random story, but my dad has a friend who has a farm with a bunch of animals and stuff, and makes a killing with nativity scenes like around Christmas. Has a camel named Hank the Camel that goes around all these different nativity scenes and everything.
He's in the nativity scene
Yeah.
business. That's good.
You look up Hank the Camel, you'll know what I'm talking about. But he had goats, and we got a goat for my grandparents, I believe. And I picked the goat up, like under the legs, like kind of under the butt and neck, and picked it up to carry it to my dad's truck. And just walking from basically here to the other side of the room to the truck, I got so allergic, I went into shock and nearly killed me. So goats are a big no for me. And they used to bring goats in on the opening drive back in the day to pick the Super Bowl. They would bring a goat in and like put two bowls out and say which one does he want to do. And the first time, this was right after that, I had to film it. And like I'm hiding in the corner and like, oh no, it's funny. And I was like, it's literally going to kill me if that goat gets too close to me. So I don't do well with farm animals.
Well, we're not going to send John to film this, but we still want Spud to go do goat yoga.
Tyler will
at some
film
point.
Spud doing this, yes.
Correct. Brian Pavlik, would you ever consider doing goat yoga?
Similar to John, I did not get killed by a goat, but my uncle has had some goats, and I didn't need to do yoga. They were all over me.
Okay, let's hand the microphone to Tyler. Don't need any more explanation on that. Would you ever try goat yoga, Tyler?
Yeah. I like how there's been all these different like animal therapy places popping up.
Yeah.
So
I know there's a place you can go where you just go in and it's just a whole bunch of kittens running around. You're just drinking coffee.
there's
and kittens are jumping
it's
all over you.
downtown.
Yeah. I went to one in Chattanooga. It was really fun.
But why goats? Goat yoga, swimming with the pigs in Mexico. Who puts these together and says that?
I don't know.
What are we doing here, folks?
It does sound like something that Tyler, as a businessman, will run in the future, and I will invest into it.
I mean,
We will
look at
make
me.
a
Do I look like I would do ridiculous things? Come on.
Let's stick with animals. Let's keep the microphone with Pavlik. I'm going to ask you this one first. Brian, are you judgmental of pet owners that regularly dress their animals in outfits?
Used to be one.
Used to be one of those
before we
individuals?
had kids, We still have an Elvis costume for our dog Elvis.
You know, seeing what you're wearing right now, I can't believe you.
Can you believe? No, we would go to PetSmart and we'd shop in the dog clothes aisle. And then we had kids and said, well, that's enough of that. You just go out in the cold and drink your water, and we'll let you back in if it gets too cold. But we used to dress up our dogs, football jerseys, all kinds of things.
Okay.
I'm not judgmental. I think some of the outfits are great, especially around Halloween. But you don't need to constantly have them in
All
clothes.
year round. Tyler, are you judgmental of pet owners that dress their pets frequently?
Similar to Brian, I used to be, but then with my bulldog, we started dressing her up more for Halloween, football jerseys, like he said, and then
It becomes an addiction.
it does. And also, bulldogs, they don't tolerate the cold very well. So when winter comes around, I have to put a winter jacket on her, or I had to rather.
There you go. Spud.
I have never and will never put clothes on a dog, and I think it's stupid. However, at one Halloween, one of my teammates dressed up their dog as me, with a T-shirt and an iPad and a backpack, and it was
And a
kind
big
of
old
cute.
bucket of ice.
Yep. It was clever, but I think it's stupid. Dogs don't
Okay.
need clothes.
Got it. John, are you looking through an album right now to find all the times you've dressed your dog? Because that feels like that's the thumb you're using
It
currently.
is what I was doing. I have not dressed my dog. My wife has dressed our dog. I'm fine putting a sweater on a dog. I'm fine for Halloween, finding some just normal costume to put on. But there is a limit. We have passed that limit many times. It's
Not really a limit then.
yeah. That you can do a little too much, but just the occasional thing on a dog that's fun. I'm okay with.
All right. Next question here. I want you to John, I want you to sort of be the leader here on this.
Okay.
I want you to take a look at the Alabama schedule. And I'm going to see if anybody disagrees with this. I want you to take a look at the schedule. If I was to tell you Alabama ends up losing 3 games during the regular season this year, who would be the 3 most likely to take the wins?
Georgia, Tennessee, and LSU.
Anybody have any sort of difference of opinion that feels like one of those needs to be subbed out for another opponent that Alabama's...
Sadly, he's right on 2, and I will give our Auburn friends a little credit this year. I think the wide receiver combination does look good. It is in Bryant Denny, which they have not won for 2010, but that has to be broken at some point. I would substitute out Georgia. I think Alabama does get by Georgia, but I would say Auburn is going to start making me nervous if this keeps up for a few more games.
If it was at Jordan-Hare even this year, I would switch them, I think, with LSU or Georgia and I would put them on the list. But being in Bryant-Denny, it's tough. Especially because they still got to get to that point where, like, okay, they actually are good now.
Yeah.
That will probably happen this year to where the next year at Jordan-Hare is like, oh, crap. But not quite yet.
Okay. It's going to be a very interesting football season for sure. We move on to this next question. Spud, have you ever been shaved by a barber?
Yes.
How was that experience?
Fantastic. I would do it every day if it was free
Right.
or reasonable. You
Yeah.
$30 or $40, that's a lot, but that's a great experience.
Were you nervous the first couple of times with that's a blade that's pretty close to your face and you're not in control of it? And I feel like I would be giving up too much control.
Never came into my mind.
Okay.
If you hadn't done it, now you two guys, when's the last time y'all shaved?
It's been a while.
2009.
2009.
Summer 2009 when I was at Rutgers.
It won't matter to you, but I'll say if you've never tried it, go give it a try one time. You'll be hooked.
Tyler, have you ever been shaved by a barber?
I have not.
Is that something you've considered in your life?
No, not really. I don't really grow a whole lot to where I really need to.
Right. That would be, they'd be worried they'd just start shaving your literal
Yeah,
face off. at
yeah,
that
like
point.
that. It would just be too close of a shave. So no.
I think we should
But-
see Tyler in full beard. I think that should be the next play.
I do kind of want to see that.
Along with
I'll
goat
pass.
yoga.
No full beard.
No, not interested.
Tyler keeping the youthful look going. Brian Pavlik, you're a
Yeah.
clean cut guy. Have you
I
ever been
am
shaved by a barber?
today, never by a barber. I'm like lovable boy. I can't really grow facial hair. I went 2 weeks and there was just a few here, and for whatever reason, there's like these little sections right here that just nothing grows. So it would look terrible anyway.
We can skip EG for this question. Lunceford, have you ever been shaved by a barber?
I actually have not. I really, once a beard started on my face, I only shaved 1 year of football, and it was usually just before games because, like, the day after a shave, it'd get itchy under my chin strap and everything. But like, if I shaved it right then, it was okay. Outside of that, I hardly ever shave at all, so I'm not gonna go get a razor.
Some year
I
before,
wouldn't mind doing it one time, but like, I just never want to get rid of my beard.
some year before high school started back up, I decided it was time to bring out the razor and shave because I was getting a little fuzzy, and I was like, I gotta take care of this. And I thought that like by shaving 3 times fully that it would like make sure that I was completely. And my face was so red the next day because I was trying to do it myself without any sort of guidance, and I thought I had done a thorough job. There was no hair, but unfortunately, I looked like I had just been to Antarctica or something. And
what would happen tonight if you two came home completely clean shaven?
My wife has never seen me clean shaven.
What would your wife? How would she react? Jump scare.
I think my wife would like it. Honestly, she's asked me if I would ever shave it off, and I've said absolutely not. However, Tim and I have talked about doing a Halloween costume that would require me to shave it off.
Did you say it's been since 2009? Since
2009.
How do you not look like Bray Wyatt or a mountain man?
I trim it.
What's the guy? What's the guy in the Oak Ridge Boys?
ZZ Top.
Yeah, or ZZ Top or something. I mean,
ZZ Top.
I run over it just with a guard every time.
Okay.
One last question here. We're going to go to Brian Pavlik. Brian, what classic children's story freaked you out the most as a kid?
Jeez, Humpty Dumpty saw a pretty terrible end to his life.
He did.
And all he did was fall.
Cried.
They couldn't even put them together. I like that story because it's like, what should we do? And they're like, I don't know, ask the horses. They could put him back together. Who asked the horses? So yeah, Humpty Dumpty, not only did he fall and crack, they tried to get the horses to put him together, and that's pretty crappy.
A lot of these stories are very traumatizing. Like, I don't feel like kids today get fed the same stories that we all got fed. Tyler, I don't know if your children's stories were as sort of uncensored as ours were, but what classic children's story freaked you out the most as a kid?
So I was trying to think of one, and the only thing I could think of was that one episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog, where the dude's standing out there, return the slab. That's all I could think of.
We're going to accept that answer. Big round of applause for Tyler. No one clapped. Spud.
I know exactly what you're talking about, Tyler.
What classic children's...
Is The Wizard of Oz a children's story?
Yeah, that counts.
I don't like that either. It's literature. I know. Anything that was ever written down on a piece of paper anywhere is literature.
I don't understand how I'm catching a lot of heat right here.
Yeah, there it is right there. That's called The Next Round, Volume 1. Yeah. That's what it's called.
Charlotte's Web is a book. Harry Potter is a book series.
Charlotte's Web is about spiders. I don't like them either.
Or pigs. Okay. What? So you're going with Wizard of Oz, I guess?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't,
For me, it's Hansel and Gretel easily.
Hansel and Gretel's up there.
Like, there was an audio recording of Hansel and Gretel, and E.G., wait your turn. There was a...
I haven't been called on once, but I'll wait.
There was an audio... No one can see your frustration. There was an audio version of Hansel and Gretel, which traumatized me. It's called 10 with Tim, not Get Here When You Can and Play 6 with Tim.
Okay, first of all, did we not clarify this yesterday?
That the show starts at 2?
Starts at
Yes.
2.
Show starts at 2, but I said, what time does the draft start?
And I said, what did I say?
Nothing.
You didn't say anything.
Well, 10
Because
Yeah.
you can't reveal
You just said
that
the show
kind of
starts at
thing.
2.
Anyway, Hansel and Gretel freaked me out. John, give an answer. That's a good one, right?
Is middle school still child? Does that count?
Sure.
Because, like, I remember the first time I read Edgar Allan Poe, it, like, terrified me. I don't know if those count or not.
Anytime
but, like,
before you
children's
shaved
story.
counts.
A children's story.
Anytime before you grew out
it's not
your
a children's
beard
story,
counts.
but it's something I read when I was younger. Like,
Okay.
in middle school, you start reading that kind of stuff, and that stuff
You
started
start
freaking
reading
me
to your
out.
children out of Edgar Allan Poe, they're going to be quite an adult.
When I think of things I read when I was younger, The Telltale Heart is something that, like, always freaked me out because it's all about hearing that sound, and, like, you always start thinking you're hearing a sound. It's not a kid's story. It's not like a, Aesop's Fables or something, but, like, I don't know. That's just something that always pops in my mind, and it's something I read in, like, 6th grade, so I don't know if that counts or not.
Like 20 years from now, this question's going to be asked to one of our Meltdonians, and they're going to say, watching Tyler play his lobster adventure, and everybody's going to go, what are you talking about? But that will be the most traumatizing thing for somebody.
What are you
out
talking
there
about,
listening. He likes to climb the papayas. All right. E.G.,
Thank you.
Since you have
Climb
been
a
so
papaya.
patient.
Thank you. Scooby-Doo with the ghost of Cutler, the scuba guy. Yeah, thank you, Tyler. Lionel, having my back.
The one with the Globetrotters.
Okay.
That was my answer.
Great answer. So the
Thank
thing
you.
you love most is also the thing that freaked you out the most.
Yep.
Which is Scooby-Doo. Okay. Good job, everybody. That's going to do it for 10 with Tim. We are through with that segment, and now we are moving on to what is the most anticipated part of today's show.
Sure.
It is the Meltdown Triple Threat Tornado Tag Team Trivia Draft. It is officially here. Let me explain how this works, because I know there's been lots of questions. Okay, is everybody ready?
I guess.
There are 6 captains today that will be drafting. Captains include world champion Tyler Lionel Johns.
Shouldn't you
Former-
take his name off?
No,
Okay.
just can I get through the rules?
No.
Former world champion John Lunceford. Currently dressed as a clown Brian Pavlik. The intimidating Spud. EG is a team captain. And finally,
There goes my pick.
the last team captain will remain a mystery until it is their time to draft.
No,
Okay.
there's somebody else in the office that can't come in here yet.
Okay? So,
My money's on Jim.
this is kind of like a game of Clue. The lights are going to go out. Everybody pick up a weapon. No. Okay, here we go. Let me explain how this works. Each captain will choose a number.
I'll turn music back on.
You don't have to have you can keep it low. Keep it low.
I'm off.
Numbers will be then randomly drawn for draft order. Captains can draft other captains. However, if that happens, the draft order will be reshuffled completely with a new captain added into the mix.
Go ahead.
What's
EJ
wrong?
wants to say something.
What's wrong?
So I thought that my partner and I were not on this draft board.
You are
all
on this
thought that.
draft board. If you'd let me, guys, if y'all would let me get through the rules, all I've asked for is just a little bit of patience and a little
What's
bit
wrong
of time.
with y'all? Let the man finish the damn rule.
Just let me make the rules here.
Good plan.
Put them out.
Good plan.
Okay, once again, captains can draft other captains. However, if that happens, the draft order will be reshuffled completely with a new captain added into the mix. While you can draft anyone you like off the board, both competitors must agree to becoming teammates for the deal to be finalized.
Oh,
You
interesting.
cannot secure an agreement, and there is no teammate deal.
I've drafted 5 people. Why won't know anybody accept
Basically, this is senior prom for EG.
And senior citizen prom for Spud.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, here we go. These 6 teams will then compete in random pairings of 3s. The 2 winners will get a title shot against Rocky and Laurel. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints?
A lot.
I feel disgust. I feel a lot of disgust for some reason.
You would be
Three-person
correct.
teams?
Your feelings are accurate.
What's wrong?
Can you explain that again, but make it like
No.
somewhat understandable?
Yeah, 6 of the people that are captains are choosing their teammate. However, it's more of a courtship. You have to agree to become teammates.
So if Tyler drafts me and Brian drafts Spud, then who are the captains to replace those 2 people?
I have a list of people that come in as captains.
It's a
at that
waiting
point
list,
that are
just like a
elevated.
restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Table for 2?
I have worked this out. I want to remind you, by the way, that this is all brought to you by the fine folks at Blakely's Bouquets. They craft both traditional and contemporary bouquets with plenty of room for customization and uniqueness. On top of everyday arrangements, they also offer same-day flower delivery here in central Alabama. They also do large event work for weddings and make sure you're provided with that floral support during funerals. If you're looking for flowers here in the Birmingham area, then Blakely's Bouquets is your best choice. Visit the team that I trust at blakeleysbouquets.com. Okay, here's how we're going to do this. I need, John, you to pick a number 1 through 6, please.
3.
John is going with 3. Pavlik, I need you to pick a number 1 through 6 that is not the number 3.
2.
EG,
Dose.
1 through 6.
so you can't pick 2 or 3, so you can pick 1, 4, 5, or 6.
Yeah. I'm going to go number 1.
Number 1. Tyler,
4.
Tyler is taking 4 off the board.
6.
And then Spud is going with 6.
And
Mystery has
mystery
5.
person
Mystery
is 5.
is going with 5.
See, what you guys don't know is the mystery team has already been decided. It's Tim and Tyler from Blakely's.
Ooh, that would be quite
That'd
a
be
plot
entertaining.
twist. Okay,
That's one word for it.
so here we go. We are picking the draft order.
So I'm assuming that these people have to be reached out to agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna handle it. I'm gonna handle it all.
You people are so nervous.
So
Hey, oh, she still want to be EG's teammate? She drafted you. No.
That's
What? Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, we got to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, what if we're just making a bunch of calls and she's like, nope, don't want
Okay.
him.
This could really be an
busy that
ego
week.
deflating
Like,
kind of
dang.
So-
experience.
Boomer still isn't picking up. I don't know what's going on.
with the first overall pick in the 2024 Meltdown Triple Threat Tornado Tag Team Trivia Draft,
Brian.
Brian Pavlik gets the very first pick.
Do I get so much for that?
I need. Can y'all swap places again? 'Cause
Good. I
need-
get to make friends.
I need to
and
get Brian back on camera.
there goes my Christmas cards.
There
this
goes the
year from
camera
half of y'all.
lens.
Brian Pavlik, the draft board is yours. It is open. Talk a little bit about the process of how you're going to narrow this down and who you're going to end up going with.
Well, first of all, if we've got a shot of the list again, if you guys can. Okay, so we do. So, when you look at this isn't a who's who. This is a who's that.
That's funny.
Half these people.
I wish I'd have said that.
I love a lot of these people, but some of these people, you exist in the chat with me, and that's where some of you should stay.
Oh my gosh.
So no offense there.
You could get more rejections than
There are a few names that did jump out. First and foremost, Lance jumps out because he was my partner last time.
was.
Lick and Lock.
I believe, John, you had that team achieving very strong things.
I believe I had it winning.
Yeah.
Well, we all
Whoops.
did.
It was not Brian's fault, though. I will say
And
that.
here's what happened with the Lick and Lock combination. We knew the same stuff. And I think if you're going to play tag team, you have to balance it out. And that's why Lance and I, we clicked, but we just did not complement, if that makes sense. So as much as I love Lance, you're going to have to fall later in the draft. Now, fate, I think, has led me to this particular moment. Because I run my mouth a lot on a particular few of you, and I will say that my number one pick is in this room. And it is somebody that I think has shown time and time again that they can exceed when they are underachieving. They can go that extra mile. And it's somebody I've believed in since day one. He is a lovable boy. I said this back in March when this first started.
You're saying you believed before
The
anybody
potential,
else.
you can check tape. I said lovable will be a number one champion. I have supported him since day one. He is a terrifying terrifier date.
You are dressed like Coach Prime, so there's a chance
He
this may
has
work.
let me caress his Dune popcorn bucket more times than I needed to.
what's
And
that a
therefore-
euphemism for?
I think if you can switch to his camera. Tyler, will you be my draft pick?
Oh my gosh.
Right there.
Okay, so let's hand Tyler the microphone.
Right there, man.
Tyler,
it's
Tyler.
waiting for you.
Tyler, you got a lot to think about here. That was quite a courtship.
I've got a lot to think
You got
about.
a lot to think about. All of a sudden, it's all the pressure's on you now instead of me coming up with the draft
yeah.
order.
There we go.
What are you thinking after this? Because he's saying you're the guy that he wants to take all the way to the championship.
I mean, it's hard to turn that down. Oh,
Are you going to? This is where it gets interesting.
so going into this, so there's been a lot of back and
This is
forth.
like The Bachelor. Anyway. Holy.
There was a lot of back and forth over whether I was going to stay with Spud and have the Supreme Spiders make a true run at the championship. Spud, no offense, you've been on a bit of a cold streak lately.
Gosh.
I've got to go with someone who trusts me, who believes in me, and I think we would complement each other. I'm going with Brian Pavlik.
Oh my God. Wow. I cannot believe the turn of events because now that's official. Y'all just shook it out. That's an official pick. Brian Pavlik with the steal of the draft potentially, and it's the first overall pick.
Here's your jersey. Just give it back to me before game.
You just recruited the world champion to your team. This is amazing.
It's who management. Just one more final say. Management was all about this kid. His 40 time was incredible. He has view counts like you wouldn't believe on your YouTube channels.
Yeah.
He's outworking all y'all in the movie theaters, pushing these buttons. You should see how he pushes these buttons. This is the guy. This is the future right here.
Jeff said Tyler's the number one pick. Landmine Believer said excellent pick. Get on the knee, Pav. They wanted you to get on the knee. Daniel says give Tyler his rose. Boomer says I threw the game for Tyler. I don't believe that. We have Landmine Believer that says super team. We have Nick that says I got here just in time. Charles says nice. And says that Tyler played his way to a first-round draft pick just at the right time. So we officially have a team in Pavlik and in Tyler. That takes one of our captains off the board as well. What a series of events.
Are we Team Terrifier? We'll have to workshop some names.
Y'all can workshop that name. Now, I do want a quick reaction here because I thought very much going in the team that would be walking out of this room as a lock together was going to be John Lunceford and Tyler. I thought that
I
was...
had two people and only two people on my list to draft today. That was Tyler Johns and Brian Pavlik.
So you're going to have to go back to the drawing board.
I got to go back to the drawing board here.
So, John, this is an interesting thing. Because you won't believe this. This is why we do what we do.
You got to reshuffle it anyway, whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, first you got to get the new captain.
I do have to reshuffle it. You are completely correct.
Because you're probably about to say I was either last or next.
No. I'm going to reshuffle.
But I remember your rules even better, I guess.
That is correct. Whatever makes you happy, whatever microaggression you have.
What would have made me happy was Tyler or Brian on my team, but
didn't happen. That's officially locked in.
What do you see, John? There's a lot of complicated rules.
Who's
with
the
this
newest
draft.
captain?
No, there's no complicated rules. Everybody's understanding it clearly except for me.
I just
Okay,
had to
here we
remind
go.
him the rule, but yeah.
So we have 5 captains now left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have our substitute captain who's come in to take the place of Tyler. All right. Here we go. I'm shuffling. Whoa. Hold on. So, Tyler, you were number 4, correct?
I was.
That's going to go to the new captain, just making sure. Okay, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. I don't want Raul to be upset. Okay.
Character
Very hard to do.
Last week for some reason.
Imaginary friend.
John, you are picking next. You're picking next, and then that will be followed by...
I'll cross you off the list in a second. Because you're about to have to reshuffle it again, hopefully. Because there's no other choice to pick other than...
Sorry, EG.
The other... Well, EG, I'm not going to be mean to EG, and she would turn me down anyway. But...
Finalist and tag team?
I have to choose Spud as my pick.
I accept with beaming pride. Even though I know I was behind Brian and Tyler. Now,
I had Brian on my list from the beginning. I didn't think y'all two were going to split up, so it was Brian, because I knew Lance was going to split up, because Lance was
I think the quote was, run it back. I think the only 2 people I really wanted to be on
I'm
my
saying,
team.
here's why.
Brian, is that what he said?
Here's why.
What did he say?
Here's why.
What did he say specifically?
He said something about...
Now, let me explain.
Yeah,
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
And then also, there's only one answer left. Hello, there's. 2
I'm
people
not...
in the
You said you
room.
wanted to be with Ush. I'm going to let you be with Ush.
Okay.
I'm not... And you probably said no if I had chosen you.
I could have prayed about it.
Could have prayed about it.
I don't know if we have enough time for that. So after trivia was over, and I knew the Team Fast and Furious was going to break up, and I knew the team of Lick and Lock was going to break up, I said, I want Brian as my teammate, because we were sitting in the lobby while Lance was in there losing it for his team, and we were also losing. And Brian got every single question right while we were sitting in the lobby. Then yesterday, I honestly didn't think of Tyler until yesterday. Tyler's like, "Hey, John, you want to be teammates?" He said that on the show. I don't know if you remember that yesterday. He said that on the show.
No, I remember.
It's like,
That's
"Hey,
why I
John,
thought
you
y'all
want to
had
be
worked something
teammates?" And I
out.
was like, "Oh, Tyler may want to be teammates. That's cool." I thought that y'all might stay together, and so I thought, okay, y'all stay together. I'll go with Brian. That'll be it. And then Tyler decided to leave Spud high and dry and come with me, and I was like, oh, well, I guess maybe I will think about Tyler. I don't know. And so I thought, okay, I'll probably go with one of y'all because I also thought Spud would be taken off the board early. But if y'all are going to leave me high and dry and leave Spud high and dry, Spud and I will just get revenge on all of y'all and come back with a vengeance. Okay. As the two winningest people in Triple Threat Trivia history, we will win.
You've addressed the present and the future. You have yet to mention what happened. Why not Jeff? What?
He didn't.
Are
he
you
didn't take
furious,
my strategy.
or are you furious, or are you fastly getting away from him? What happened?
I like Jeff. We had a strategy. We did not stick to the strategy. It didn't quite work out, and I wish Jeff all the best in the future. But if I'm picking from all the remaining candidates, Spud is the only player that has won multiple championships other than myself. Therefore, I'm going to go with Spud.
EG, that's how you press in an interview for an answer.
That was excellent.
So I want to say this. Now that I'm no longer a captain,
Right.
then I won't get any opportunities to pick anyone.
That is correct unless you decline.
You can
his
decline.
Oh,
invite.
no, I already
if you want
accepted.
to.
That's over. That's over. But I will say this. Had I not been picked,
Yeah.
I was going to revert to the quote of Vince Lombardi when he said, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. But he was wrong. I would have taken EG.
Thank you, Spud.
Because there's more important things than winning. Not that we couldn't win because we have a good match, but if I could have gotten,
once again, would EG have accepted
If
that?
I could have gotten EG and Taylor Korn, had they both accepted, our team name would have been Tony, Orlando, and Dawn.
Wait, what if we get to 3 people all of a
Be
sudden?
perfect. Okay, but I've accepted, so I'm now on
I
Lunce's
get the reference.
list.
I get the reference.
I'm
Spud
on
is at
Lunce's
the top.
Boomer will
list.
get the reference. He's the only other one in the chat.
Spud, you are closer to goat yoga than you are to the whatever sort of lifestyle you just pointed out there. Okay. Oh, this is.
All right, am I up?
You can cross through.
You
it,
don't know
John.
who's
Cross
next
through
on
it.
the list.
I've got to reshuffle because we just
That's
had
right.
another captain. Come on in. We got another captain coming in.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on in.
Reed, you get this chair
EG,
now because I'm no
move
longer
your
a captain.
Chair in front of in front of that gray area right there. Yeah. Okay.
Reed, you're in this chair because I'm no longer a captain.
This is getting crazy.
ousted. Here you
Hey,
go.
you can't block the camera. You got to do it in front of the.
Where am I going?
You can do it right here, maybe. You can come sit right here.
Sit right there.
Yeah, come sit right there.
No, you didn't take it. You got a swipe by John.
Sit right here and sort of in front of me.
was ever told to
scoot down
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, we're trying to get as many people in here as possible. Oh, this is insane.
Shalom.
What's going on?
The draft has gotten crazier than I thought it was going to
All of a
get.
sudden.
John Cleese. Sweep the leg.
Okay,
The guns are out.
Reed.
Wait, someone needs to sit.
Yeah, somebody sit down. It's getting hot. We can roll, here, hold on.
I'm happy.
You're right. I need to take care of my teammate.
Crisscross applesauce. I'm ready.
Okay, so
Lay my believer. I need Tyler and Pavlik versus Luntz and Spud like I need air.
this
I
is
agree.
this is insane.
That'll be anticipated.
I mean, come on.
We need pay-per-view for that.
Yeah.
Hey, EG, it's the giant and the peach on the screen at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
The giant and the peach. Okay,
All right.
that would have been our team name.
That would have been fun. Are you
Okay.
eligible?
I'm not. I'm hosting all of this. Unfortunately, someone has to keep this correct.
Kind of forward there,
I
EG.
know.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 4 teams left that are needed. We've had 4 team captains taken off the board.
Awkward.
Whew, this is a doomsday scenario, but I've prepared for it. Okay. EG, I need you to pick a number 1 through 4.
3.
Reed, I need you to pick a number 1 through 4.
2.
All right. Here we go.
I'm looking at cameras 1 through 7.
Hello, everyone.
It's now the EG show.
EG.
I'm just going where I'm told. Yes.
at this, EG, open the case. You know, now that I look at the different angles, I look like Pat McAfee.
You do look at Pat McAfee now.
You do.
Let's go!
EG,
That was good,
you
yes.
are up next when it comes to the draft.
Ush Sisk.
Well, can you talk through it a little bit at least? Or is that you guys are so
What?
you're so
What do you want from me, Lionel?
No, I'm agreeing with you. I was saying that's good.
Oh.
See, Tyler likes to do this thing I like to call run the show from back there in the corner, and that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to ask a question,
Okay.
and I'm hoping to get a good answer
Okay.
because here at Disrupt Media, we like to promote other people's projects.
We do.
This is your Pennant Grace teammate.
Pennant Grace teammate, Joshua Ush
Yes.
Sisk. We are a duo that is appreciated in so many different aspects. We talk about the Braves, we kick butt in trivia, and it's just a natural fit. I feel like we had a great run last season, and I'm looking forward to continuing the continuity of our team.
Are y'all going to cheat again this season?
No more questions. Thank you.
Okay, well, Tyler's happy now. All right, EG and Ush, the Pennant Grace returning for...
Do I have to get his confirmation or something?
So
No,
I
you're
made a
good.
comment
He,
about.
he just texted me and said, "No way, not doing it."
So I made a comment
Lies.
like, well, so if somebody picks Ush and he says no, do we go back to the drawing board? And he said, or if, with EG, and he said, no, I do accept.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He has clearly accepted
Should I
this.
FaceTime him?
No, there's too many people in the studio already. We got to move the program
Big face,
along.
little face, even littler face.
Okay, so next up is Reed. Reed, who are you going with here? This will be team number 4.
Do you have to reshuffle?
I mean,
I don't have to reshuffle because a captain didn't get taken off the board because Ush was not a captain.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah. I did. I scratched him out.
Where's the angle?
I'm looking.
there.
I'm looking. Spud's taken.
Okay. Awesome.
Pavlik's taken.
Bye, Ush.
By the way, who's on your team, Pavlik?
Tyler.
Tyler.
Brian drafted Tyler. I drafted Spud.
He
EG
basically
drafted Ush.
proposed to Tyler. It was
It
quite
was.
heartfelt.
Nice. Nice.
Cake, I'm telling you.
You can turn that one on.
I'm okay to move a little bit,
Yeah.
like physically.
There's Spud.
That's Spud standing up, by the way.
Curse you, I will.
Spud, don't take this from them.
Oh, this is
Don't
the
take
wildest
this.
episode ever. Talk it out, Reed.
You guys
trying
are
to think
just
through it.
hoping that y'all can come in second to me and Lutz. That's what
right.
y'all are all playing for second now.
That's right.
I'm not
If
taking.
you stay at that level, you better be looking up for those goat droppings.
I took a picture with Tim recently, and somebody said it looks either like a wrestler and his manager or a ventriloquist and his puppet.
Look like Shrek and Donkey.
I think I'm down to
Donkey.
Forrester. There's the back of EG's head.
Okay.
Lance,
That's fine.
or
I think for the first time, we're truly showing how tiny the studio is.
yes,
Wait,
Oh
hold on.
yeah.
Who'd you say, Forrester, Lance,
or Brown.
or Brown? See, I think Brown is actually very good.
Yeah,
I think he got brought down by his teammate last time.
Who was his
Jim.
teammate last time?
Jim.
Jim. Wow.
I'm just saying. And Brown did not get a question wrong. He only had to answer 2, and he got both of them right.
I think Brown's
I'll
worst
take
enemy
Brown.
in trivia is just how much he
Take Brown.
wants to be there that day.
Correct.
John, I need you.
Brown.
I need you to call Ryan Brown right now and make sure that he accepts.
Oh, this will be interesting if he doesn't.
yeah.
He's gonna be like, "Who is this?"
I don't accept. I also don't have a job anymore, but other than that.
So, John is getting on the phone right now. He's going to call Brownie and make sure. Gosh. Is this going out over the air?
Reed, this ain't the first time you've called somebody
I have
on
a
the
question
phone
for
and
you.
asked them for a date, is it?
You're currently on the Meltdown right now. Reed Taylor has drafted you as his trivia partner, but you have to accept it for it to be true. Will you accept it?
What does this mean for me?
It-
Also, I didn't know y'all took phone calls. How are you taking a phone call?
I'm holding my phone up to the microphone right now.
Very high end.
That's
very
high tech. And we don't have the cool stuff like y'all have. You have to compete either next Wednesday or the Wednesday after. Is that correct?
Correct. One of the next 2 Wednesdays.
One of the next 2 Wednesdays with
can
Reed.
decline.
You can decline it if you want to.
Sure.
Is that sure you're declining it or sure you're accepting it?
No, I mean, I'll accept it. I don't know. Yeah, I'll accept it. Last
It's not an offsides call,
Last
Ryan.
time you did
Like,
pretty good. Dunaway brought you down. So
right, yeah.
Reed did win last time. So you do have
the
a winner.
offside or second down.
I'm in.
Yeah, Reed and Taylor beat me and Jeff and Brian and Lance last time.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, it is official. Thank you.
Ask him what he's doing.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now? It's very loud.
I was eating a bag of potato. I was eating Golden Flake sweet heat potato chips.
Those are the best chips.
They are good. That was my first round draft pick in our chip draft. All right,
They're phenomenal.
they are phenomenal. All right, thank you very much, sir.
All right, kids.
As you were.
So
This is awesome. I'm enjoying
is
this.
this? I don't know. I think we've set a new low in production standards.
Did that come
for
over the
this
microphone
show.
okay?
It did. That was good.
It makes it more relatable.
So
It's our draft. We just draft teammates every day. It's like, all right, I think Brian and Tyler win this one. All right, let's move on.
Reed, are you worried about Ryan Brown's level of enthusiasm there? Because it sounded like he was on an operating table
I
somewhere.
mean, have you met Brown before?
Yeah, I was about to say that
Par
pretty
for
much
the
was
course.
Brown right there.
Okay.
I don't.
Reed.
You know, we had a
I got cross them off.
Taylor. We pulled off an upset,
Yeah.
but I
You
think
and Brown
I
can go
think
deep.
I think we needed a little bit of a change though.
Okay, so Reed did not take one of the draft participants off the board. I'm sorry, he did not take
A
one of the
captain.
captains off the board. Let me be more specific there. John, I need you to place another phone call for me, please.
I love the call element.
And please make sure that they know.
I didn't put him on speaker
I
until
know,
I said that.
I know. But even then, I felt like Brown still was like, what's going on? I need you to call Jim Dunaway.
Oh, hello, Jim.
is he in the-
Regis
is he in the
Philbin
lobby?
here.
Is he still here?
Yeah, I'll get him.
Hello, Jim.
get it.
Regis
Here, hold
Philbin.
on.
You're on Millionaire.
It's on Crawford.
I've got John here. He's going for $1 million, and he's phoned you.
We need Jim Dunaway.
We're thanking our friends from AT&T. Ugh.
Jim was very adamant about, I mean, he was a little bit worried about who would draft him and whether or not it would be a good fit. And no one's drafted Jim yet, so he doesn't have that fear.
Jim's gonna have to.
Jim
sit.
is going to be the captain.
Jim is going to be a captain, yes. We currently have 4 teams.
I know who he's going to draft.
You want to predict? That would be good radio, TV, podcast.
We're going to need Jim in that
If
seat.
he goes
I
with
think,
Mama
Spud.
Well, I
Lunceford,
needed
I'm
a
dead.
break.
I don't think he's going to draft her.
If we called Mama Lunceford right now just for other reasons, would she even answer?
Well, she's already texted me that she's disowning me because I didn't draft her. So
Well, Mariette, I would have.
I went with the.
The Pavlik family loves you.
Oh, gosh, here he is. Here he is.
Did I go undrafted? Y'all calling me in to tell
Oh, you were coming in. You're coming in to draft.
I'm trying the new Coca-Cola Zero with Oreo flavor. It's delicious.
Pavlik,
Perfect for
give
the
me the
holidays.
camera on Jim, please, because, no, it's you need to be understanding of what's going on right here, Jim.
You're good.
You've been elevated. You've been promoted to team captain.
What? So I don't get undrafted?
Possibly.
You get to play Kingmaker. You get to choose based on the draft board of who's left, of who you want on your team. And I will tell you that Reed just took your former tag team partner, Ryan Brown, off the board.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten him back anyway.
And Brown did not fight to keep you. So
He wasn't happy with Reed. He sure wasn't going to take
Yeah.
you.
he was not excited.
Ryan and I are friends forever. We're like brothers. But our experience was I drug us down. So it would have been very Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. He'll go on to better things and win a championship somewhere else. We had some good times, but I don't want to hold him back anymore.
Okay. As you look at the board here, are there any names that are really popping off at you as being serious contenders for joining your team? Because right now we have John and Spud, John Lunceford and Spud.
Right.
Obviously, the cross-out ones you get picked.
We have Brian Pavlik and Tyler that are a team.
Ooh.
We have EG and Ush, the Pennant Grace, returning.
Yes,
They're our only
Pennant
returning
Grace.
You're
team.
too loyal. There's more talented people up there. Why don't you stick with us?
And then now we have
just
Reed
dished
and Ryan
Ush.
Brown.
Oh.
You did.
Clap
you did.
back.
You did.
Clap back.
Do I get the? Do I get the
everybody in
Lunce-
this room?
Do I get the Luncfords as a united pair? Do they
only-
come
you only
together?
get
It's
one of them.
possible. It's, I
Yeah,
mean,
I just get one of them.
You only get one of them.
maybe get a cheering section. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do I have to pick right now?
You do.
Yes.
You're on the clock.
Taylor would be fun. Taylor would be fun. But after the Germany answer, I'm going to pass. I don't know who Boomer
I won't
is.
be in your ear doing that.
Is it Boomer Esiason? Is
Not
it Chris
exactly.
Berman?
Not
No?
exactly.
No.
Boomer does have more trivia wins than you do, though. So he could.
Oh, listen, boy, we are down on Jim Dunaway.
I am going to. I'm going to shock the table here.
Lance
know
Taylor.
what's coming.
Lance Taylor.
Yeah, I knew it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's not going to be happy. But
Wait a minute.
You got to call Lance.
This is
He
not like
has to accept it first.
okay. I mean, just for the drama.
Now, let's remind him he's on air during this phone
Oh,
call.
no, we're on the internet. Don't remind him. Don't even tell him I'm in the room. Let's see what he says.
Gosh.
Here, I've been
I'll
with
tell
him
you
long
what,
enough.
I'll bet you it couldn't be less enthusiastic than Ryan Brown was. Yeah, I guess. Will you marry me, E.G.? Yeah, I guess.
I am surprised Forrester's still on the board. I really am.
Is Forrester good at this? All I see him ever do is work. Work.
He's only competed twice, and he's done pretty good.
He's
lost in close
He's had
games.
some rough luck.
Lance
What's
is
the
not
Germany
answering.
question?
He sees it's me, and he's like, I'm not answering that.
He doesn't know there's a draft going on?
E.G., you hop over in the microphone. Let's see if he answers you.
That'll do it.
I don't want to stir
That
the
was
pot too
voicemail.
much here, but this is it's a great
Yeah.
segment right now. It's just people trying. Yeah, he's my partner.
While
I know
you're
if
doing
I
that,
call,
I'll
he's not
call
answering.
Pavlik and talk to him for a little
Lessens
bit.
your chances.
Hey,
Oh my gosh. He probably is going to see a second call at least and be like, okay, now it's important.
It wasn't with
He
John.
may be
but it is
walking the
with
beach
anybody
slopes.
else.
You never know.
it's also possible he's eating some hot, sweet chips.
Yep, or he's sleeping.
Everybody in
Taking a
the
nap.
room calls him. He's like, I had a lot of missed calls for work. What happened? Is the place on fire
The
over
show
there?
been canceled.
Oh, Pavlik's going to try now.
There's no chance he's answering after he turned down these two.
Oh, he's going to be so pissed off when he does answer.
Yeah. Y'all are calling me for this?
It's going to say a lot. It will say a lot.
Oh, I wouldn't go with the speaker.
No, I would go with the speaker off for a moment.
Lance.
Hey, it's Brian Pavlik from the Meltdown here. I'm going to hand the phone kind of to Lunceford here. You doing good?
E.G., are you okay?
Everything's good, man.
Hey, so I know you turned down my call, but and EG's call, but we just have a quick question for you.
Yep.
We are drafting trivia teammates for our next tag team event, and Jim Dunaway has drafted you, but you have to accept it before it's true. Do you accept it?
Do I accept Dunaway being on my trivia team?
Yes, it'll be you and Jim.
I mean, I lost before. I might as well, yeah.
All right, it is official. It is you and Jim.
All right.
Okay, when is this taking place?
One of the next 2 Wednesdays.
Okay, all on it.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right.
Yeah. All right, I got a team.
I figured out,
Thanks for turning down me and EG and
why
answering
Lance answered
Brian.
my phone call.
That shows the power of Brian
No, I
Pavlik.
figured out why he answered my phone call. He thought I was going to increase my ad buy for the quarter.
Correct. I was like, yeah. Well, one
And for
person spends
answering
money
the
with
call,
us,
the
and
ad
we don't spend money
ad
with
buy
us.
automatically goes up. Thank you.
I would answer
Lance
E.G.'s
is
call
getting
at
it
a
from
funeral, so I don't care.
At your own funeral,
At
you'd be
my own
answering.
day, I promise you.
Okay.
He's alive.
Oh,
What are you saying, Spud?
Jim and Lance?
All right, Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor.
That's interesting, I think.
Jim,
Good
what-
pairing.
Scratch them.
Also, shockingly, he didn't say why Jim, why not you. I mean, well, whatever.
Jim, thank you very
back
much
to your
for
tip.
stepping
Thanks,
up as a
Jim.
team captain.
Did good, buddy.
Oh, goodness.
All right. We have one team captain left. And I have spoken with this person, and I know what direction they wanted to go. I'm going to have to see if that path is still available.
You want to tell us who it is?
The team captain,
This was the mystery one to start.
Yes.
Well, I guess Jim and Reed were
the
both
team
mysteries,
captain gave me
technically.
3 options they wanted to go with. This is Jeff Roberts was the team captain.
I'm assuming I was not one of those.
So
Sure I wasn't.
pick number 1 for Jeff was Tyler. And
Look at this.
Hey, see, our teammates
like the
teammates
queen
think
of the
alike.
prom.
Lovable as ever.
This is you're like the queen of the prom.
Former teammates think
Man, this
alike.
has never happened to me before.
Everybody wants Tyler, and he dumped me.
Tyler, in what situation would something like this have happened before in your life? This is insanity. This is the craziest episode we've ever
Tyler,
had.
was our relationship
Imagining
all
like
scripted
sad 4-year-old
for
Tyler on the
publicity,
dodgeball
and
court or
you're going to
something.
dump me in late September?
Okay.
No, never Spud.
I'll take Tyler, I guess.
Jeff's first choice was Tyler.
Yeah.
Jeff's second choice, and this is a little bit heartbreaking, was John Lunceford.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Isn't that kind of sad?
That is so sad.
I'm so sorry, Jeff. I'm so sorry.
You ogre.
To be fair, he did pick somebody else over me to begin with. So
That's right.
and I had chose the same
could
person.
tell him I was
You were his silver medal. He didn't even make your podium.
That's okay. Spud was my bronze medal. So
Jeff
it.
said, I'm not opposed to sticking with John, but he seems set on changing things up.
Man.
So,
just drive that knife.
No,
out a little
I'm
further.
just-
that
I'm
wasn't
telling you.
fast
Also
or
think Tim-
furious.
I think
That
Tim's
was
making that
slow
part
and
up.
So
shaky.
his
not.
third choice was
Yeah, let's. Oh,
Jeff's third choice,
this is good.
Brian Pavlik. Okay?
At least we think alike.
EG. Are we supposed to be
Love you,
hurting
Jeff.
here?
I'll always think you're fast and furious, my friend.
Jeff gave
Think like
me
Aaron Rodgers.
I don't mind
here.
being the bronze
Did he
medalist.
power rank all 20 people?
no, he gave me a fourth option, which was I'll take anyone. I'm just here to have a good time.
this is good.
Oh, Marshawn
So,
Lynch.
we got to look at this, right? I think
I think you need to call him.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Isn't this Mr. Irrelevant or
I don't-
Mrs.
I
Irrelevant?
don't know
That's
if Jeff is
Yes.
available right now, which is why I had to work all this out.
Oh Lord.
I'm just saying he may not be available right now, EG.
I said, why?
Oh,
what is he
that's
doing?
terrible. That's why I couldn't answer.
But I have made,
You can,
I
take,
think,
you can take a call.
I
An
think
executive decision?
I think I'm making the executive decision.
Is that allowed?
Yes.
He does all the time anyway. So
What's his last name?
Jeff Roberts.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sorry.
I couldn't find it right away either. Sort of tucked in the
it is
middle.
kind of hidden in the middle. Of it.
Where everybody's column 1 or column 2. Jeff got his own damn column in the middle.
That's how much I respect him because I wrote him in his own column.
Jeff's in the chat.
That's not the Jeff.
That's
though.
not-
That's not the Jeff.
If it doesn't say Jeff Roberts,
it's
it's
a
not
different
him.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Now I do actually kind of agree with Jeff's choice in the chat.
What's
I was
his
between
choice?
two people. I mean, you're making the executive
Who would
decision,
I
so I'll
take
let you
now?
choose.
I'm worried about
Oh, I know who I
Forrester's
would take in a
availability.
flash.
I'm very worried about Forrester's availability.
I did tell him earlier you were going to be on the list, and he just said okay. That was it. So
I'm concerned about Forrester's availability.
I do have a second choice that I think would be good for him.
Who do you think is the second choice? Because we may be on the same page.
Vernon.
Ooh, I'm worried about Vernon's availability.
I know that's another potential issue.
Well, can we just skip them and go back to it?
No, because this is the last pick, EG.
So then you're just going to match up everyone else?
Well, I mean, I guess we could skip and they could work it out since it is the last pick and it's not going to affect anybody.
Find somebody in free agency, Jeff.
But this person's not. I don't think Jeff is available. I'm going to call him. I'm going to
All
try
right, so
calling.
Brian has a great idea. I think this would be a fantastic team combo. Jeff Roberts with Boomer.
Let's just call him.
We need Boomer
That's
and
what I'm-
tag team.
That's what I'm doing right now. Unfortunately, this is something we're working out live, and we're going to get that. But I think Jeff and Boomer is the correct answer.
I think it'd be great. And I know
Because
you.
they
Boomer, go ahead
really-
and type in your reply because we know you're up for it.
They both lost to Tyler,
Well,
and they had a tremendous chemistry. Jeff and Boomer did.
I liked the show they were both on.
Revenge for both of them. Storylines there.
I'm going to
There's-
call. I'm going
That's
to call.
that's a
All
great.
right,
storyline.
Brian. While he's calling,
Yes.
if I were the next to pick, who would I take?
You?
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to non-regulars like me up in this office, but I could see you and Taylor Corn would be hilarious.
Are you available to talk real quick?
I wanted Tony Orlando and Dawn.
Okay, I'm going to put you live on the air. Okay, so you'll be live on
This
the air.
is gonna be good. Come on, Jeff.
Quality.
All right,
Don't blow it, Jeff.
Jeff, your first pick in the draft was Tyler, and Tyler was taken by Brian Pavlik, who was your
And
third
everybody
option.
else.
John Lunceford was your second option, and he decided to go with Spud. So you were the last to pick, and I'm going to ask you. Okay, we have a board here. I know you're out. You don't have eyeballs on this. We have a board of available people. Do you remember meeting Boomer from last week?
Last two.
Yes, absolutely.
So Boomer's actually in the chat right now saying that you and him would make for a great team and you have good
I
chemistry.
am totally good with that. We'll be last pick for dodgeball at school.
No, that's Tyler back in his school days, but
That's true.
so you're going with Boomer officially.
That sounds fun. That sounds good to me.
All right, Jeff, you go get those enchiladas off the stove, and I will talk to you again very soon.
All right, sounds good.
All right, see ya.
Appreciate it.
Bye bye.
John. Taylor Corn's
Done.
a free agent.
She is.
Yeah. Can we add a third?
I don't know if that's allowed or not.
Okay.
So we have.
She did beat me though, so I mean,
We have
she finished ahead of both of us. She finished ahead of everybody in this room except EG.
That's true. That's true.
What?
So Taylor and Reed finished ahead of everybody in this room except for you. Because Spud and Tyler lost, and me and Brian both
Actually,
lost too.
Spud lost. Tyler played great. No wonder he dumped
You
me.
actually won a game.
No wonder he dumped me. You see, he didn't give a second thought.
I don't think they're getting off to the greatest of starts because Boomer just thanked Jeff Forrester in the chat, and
Uh-oh.
I don't think that's probably not the best.
Why did you do that to him?
Yikes.
Probably not the best team chemistry building thing. But we have our 6 teams.
Cross off Jeff Roberts.
Jeff Roberts is off the team.
And Boomer.
And apparently Scott Forrester as well.
Well, that's what Tim's job is.
That's it. There's 6 teams.
so they just don't go.
They didn't qualify.
3 of them face, and then we take the 2 winners and they get a championship run. Or championship match.
We're not
against-
doing 3 matches and then a
Yeah.
championship like last
Correct.
time.
That's it.
Correct. 2 number 1 contenders matches.
Y'all
In,
not allowed.
and then a
in the event of an
championship match.
injury or unavailability, the remaining people are free agents.
So you say that, but you're going to hurt Ush, and I'm worried that you're setting things up
Why
here.
am I hurting us?
So you can become EG's partner.
I'm not. I'm.
You've threatened to
I did
mess
not
with his
cut
car.
the brake lines on Ush's vehicle. I didn't do that.
Yet.
Ush, you better clear out the
like-
hoses
I got
on your
John.
Like,
slab.
dang, Ush and my brakes were cut today.
I got John, and I'm thoroughly happy. Just polish up the damn trophy, please.
Okay.
My CPAP started taking air away. How did that happen?
Did John? How does MyBookie have us rated in this 6-way match?
So I would say the favorites right now, depending on how it gets put together, would be EG and Ush. I would say it would be very close next between our 2 teams. Would be kind of 2A, 2B. I would then say I would probably put Jeff and Boomer 4th because I won't let Jeff's one tag team performance with me be a downfall. He has done very well in singles competition.
This is you respecting Jeff right now. That's what this is.
Then I will put Reed and Brown because Brown did pretty good, and then Jim and Lance are definitely last.
You never know. Jim and Lance, I mean,
I still firmly believe Lance could get, every single question right 6 rounds in a row.
He can do it.
But he there's a 20% chance of that and an 80% chance of him getting all 6 wrong. It's just he's so all over the board, but he could still potentially be good. So I still believe that.
If you're
I can't
Rocky
believe
and
Scott Forrester went undrafted.
If you're Rocky and Laurel, the team that you're most worried about right now is
EG and Ush.
EG and Ush. All right, that's going to do it for our first ever draft. It was insane.
It was insane.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
I appreciate the trust.
I hope you're comfortable. Look at just all the lights
out.
right there. Just
John, I need you to erase the big board for me whenever you get a chance.
right. My goodness. My goodness.
By whom?
By the giant.
Oh, the giant. Ho ho ho.
That's Santa Claus. He's
No,
not
that's the
necessarily.
Jolly Green Giant.
Fee Fi Fo Fum is more giant type.
Oh, he was. You're right, Spud. I'm with you on this. It's the commercial.
The way you said it was too jolly.
So in other words, I
And
sounded like
green.
Santa Claus. How ironic.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get into Lunce's list, and I have come up with a Lunce's list topic that I know both Brian Pavlik and Spud will be very passionate about.
Yes.
I'm
And
excited.
Tyler
about
and
this.
EG will have lots of questions about.
Yeah.
And so it's going to work perfectly.
Very
here.
excited.
Do I stay here?
You can if you choose to do so.
Sit in a.
No, this
Why
is
don't you?
listen.
You want to go back and sit next to Brian over in the
They
corner?
could never be too bright for you.
We're
What
gonna
do you
have-
want me to do? I'm smitten. I can't help it.
Okay, I got it. Oh, I recommend bear mace, EG. That's what you need to have on you at all times when you're around.
BARE?
Goat.
How about just
Jesus.
Goat mace.
Please help.
How about just goat mace will work.
God.
These are bad taste.
Spud, you need a friend. Buy a gerbil or something, please.
What? Maybe a goat. They got goats available?
Spud, you were a very unwell person. If I had to say one thing about you, you're a very unwell person.
Combination podcast host and psychiatrist?
That's my teammate, man.
That's correct.
That's right. Hey,
That's
my quarterback.
That's my teammate.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit more about.
Let's hope your
maybe,
team doesn't catch a lawsuit.
I'm trying so hard to segue here.
John's here alone today, I guess.
John, the folks at Way to Wellness are great people.
Yes, they are, Tim. Go to planforme.com. You can learn more about our friends at Way to Wellness. We're on a plan. We each have a plan that works for us. Jim Dunaway's on a plan that works for him. My dad's on a plan that works for him. Everybody is on a plan that works for them. Go to planforme.com. Learn more about Leslie and her whole board-certified team and everything there at Way to Wellness.
Okay, yesterday it was movies. Today it is music, but we are going to stay in the year 1999 for one more day. Woodstock is synonymous with 2 years that were separated by 30. Woodstock 69 and 99 were both events that still have ripple effects in the pop culture landscape today. Who would be those can't-miss music acts for John Lunceford that performed at these different events? It's time to find out right now on another edition of Lunce's List.
What is this? What is this? Lunce's List, Lunce's List, oh. What is this? What is this? Lunce's List, Lunce's List, oh. Lunce's List to buy. Lunce's List to buy. Lunce's List to buy. Lunce's List to buy.
All right, John, simultaneously, I need you to list out I'm losing my voice, the 5 Woodstock 69 and Woodstock 99 performances that you would have most enjoyed seeing live at the time they were presented. I'd also like for you to tell us your favorite song from each act's career catalog. Each number will represent 2 different acts that performed roughly 30 years apart.
Smuff says, I'm sure I'll hate these choices. I imagine there will be a lot of hate for these choices. Maybe not the 99 ones as much, but the 69 ones definitely. Not a lot at Woodstock back in the day that I would have definitely been into, and my favorite song from some of these may have come after 69. But let's get to it.
Maybe they played some unreleased stuff at Woodstock at the
Yeah,
time.
sure. I wasn't there. That was 20 years before I was born. All right, number 5.
Let's
I
get to
get
it.
it.
So, Spud, obviously you would have preferred going to Woodstock 69.
Yes.
I do want to remind you there was a Woodstock 94.
That's great, but we're going to do the 99 one.
Okay, I'm just making my lists. And
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
No, you're
I didn't
you're
want to interrupt
That is fantastic.
Lince's list. I see you though.
No, I got it.
Oh, I was gonna say Boomer brought me one last time we played trivia.
Oh,
This is Joe Brian brought me.
Thank you, Boomer. We have an extra black marker on hand for when EG steals one again.
it's better you don't hear it.
Yeah. We were missing it for a day.
Okay. At number 5, John, you have 2 very different acts here. Who are you going with?
These are all going to be very different, just based on how I rank them. The Who, I like some of the Who stuff. It's somebody that, like, if you said, go back to Woodstock and just observe, that is a band I would know, a band that I would be able to enjoy some of their music, although I imagine some of their music happened after 69 when I would have seen them. But Vertical Horizon, I have actually seen in concert. I very much enjoyed them. They were like a 2-hit wonder and then disappeared off the face of the earth. But they were at Woodstock 99, and I saw them in 2001. Yes. I saw them in 2001. They opened up for Third Eye Blind. I went to go see them out at Oak Mountain. But I really like Vertical Horizon. My favorite song there, Everything You Want, was kind of their big hit. Really like that. For The Who, I mean, it's probably something like Pinball Wizard, if I had to pick my favorite song from them. But that would probably be number 5.
John, and also if you move just a 1/4 inch to the left, I feel like we'll be able to get you and EG both in, and that would be awesome.
All right, pull me up, Tyler.
I've heard a very strong start here from the chat for sure.
Okay. I'll take it.
A lot of people are excited about where this may go. Yeah, that works perfect. Let's go with number 4 here while Spud tells us a little bit about his love of The Who. Are you a big fan?
A pretty big fan. I don't know, without looking at the whole list right away, whether they be in the top 5, but it's a good choice, and there's a ton of good songs. Baba O'Reilly or My Generation I thought might hit, but Pinball Wizard's a good choice.
I know that no one can really see Spud through EG, but Spud does look like a melting ice cream cone in that position.
All right, just a moment. Let me bulk up here.
There we go. Thank you.
Is this better?
Yes.
Anytime I can be in the same frame with EG.
We can't get through this list quick enough. At number 4,
They're down on me.
Jefferson Airplane and The Offspring would be the 69 and 99 choices, respectfully here. Talk a little bit about the choices, and we're going to get Pavlik to open up about 99.
Jefferson Airplane, White Rabbit. I guess is that their biggest song? I guess.
Yeah.
That's their biggest,
Somebody to
yeah.
Love I like as well. I did like The Offspring. I mean, you can go pretty fly for a white guy back in the beginning, but I like Days Go By. It's a song that one of our former coworkers actually introduced me to, but I really like it. But they have a decent catalog for something like this where they're not going to play like a full concert. I feel like they could play the hits and probably have a pretty good show on.
Talk about The Offspring here, and I'm not talking about your children. I'm talking about The Offspring.
Speaking of, The Offspring are a hit on the Pavlik Boy playlist. They're getting into The Offspring from that Americana album with Pretty Fly for a White Guy. The Kids Aren't All Right is probably the best. That just guitar riff to
Love that
start
song.
is fantastic. Offspring, a fun band. They could be annoying, yes, but they also interact with the crowd on a different level. They put on a performance. They have comedy. If you've never seen an Offspring intermission, I won't spoil it, but let's just say there's guys probably between the both of you that are just in scantily clad things and just get the crowd hype, and it's very funny. And they call it intermission. It's hilarious.
All of a sudden, Spud is very quiet.
Well,
I checked out of music before 69, but Jefferson Airplane would not be in my top 5. But if they were in concert tomorrow night with the original lineup, I'd go.
yeah. Okay. And the thing with the Who and Airplane,
Some psychedelics and go watch them.
the psychedelic portions of it, the Who I think played for like 3 hours at that time, and they played from like 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning to like 5 a.m. And then I don't know if they played back to back, but then Jefferson Airplane played the minute the sun was coming up. So if you're watching the Woodstock movie from back in the day, it's a cool visual of the Who just rocking out at night, and then Jefferson Airplane just waking up people. I believe they called it maniac music for the crowd in 69.
Love it. Let's move on to number 3 on Lunce's list as we get to those top 3, which really includes 6.
I'm definitely an Offspring fan.
Slash. Oh, got you.
Slash, I don't think played at any Woodstock. He was at 94, I guess. Okay.
You did.
I think so, yeah.
You did. We'll talk about this one here.
I liked Limp Bizkit. All right. Growing up. For CCR, I mean, CCR is one of those that you always hear Fortunate Son in every movie, seems like, and so that's the song that automatically comes to mind. I feel like I would probably just enjoy the set that they did, but Limp Bizkit, I would definitely enjoy the set. Break Stuff would probably be it for me, but you have a lot of good songs from Limp Bizkit as well, and yeah, I think it would be a fun concert.
Any thoughts from the panel here about these 2 choices?
CCR would have definitely been on my list, and they have 20 good songs they could have played.
Yeah. CCR, there's a great story John Fogerty tells about that particular event. It was, again, early in the morning, people half asleep, all that, and they weren't really making the noise that CCR wanted, but he heard from the shadows, he said, in 300,000 people, "We're here for you, John." And he said, "I just played for that guy the rest of the night because that guy just wanted to hear our music." Limp Bizkit, you could talk 40 minutes about that whole situation. I think Limp Bizkit gets the most unfair deal of the whole rioting and stuff that happened and that we know Woodstock 99 for. And I think the biggest reason they get the most flack is because they were playing when the sun was still up. If you go back and watch after them, think about this. After them is Rage Against the Machine. After them is Metallica. That crowd was stirred up, ready to go. Rage actually had a more riot-inducing performance. It's just you never knew about it because it was dark. It was nighttime. You couldn't see past the first few row with the stage lights. Limp Bizkit, that sun was everything the light touches, and people went crazy. You're right. I saw them at Turner Field with Metallica, with Linkin Park. Break Stuff.
That'd have been a hell of a show.
You lose control during that song.
Landmine Believer writes in the chat, when The Undertaker switched his theme to Limp Bizkit, that was awesome. Was it Limp Bizkit or was it Kid Rock? I thought it was Kid Rock.
He had Limp Bizkit.
Oh, he had a Limp Bizkit
He
thing?
did American Badass, and then he did Rollin'.
Oh, okay.
with for a while, and
Because
Rollin'.
they did it at WrestleMania, didn't they?
They did, yeah, and they
that's correct.
performed at 19. Limp Bizkit was made for that movement that happened in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Just that MTV was still a thing, but there was counterculture with Jerry Springer, South Park, this pro wrestling, this whole mix.
Little John was an angsty middle schooler.
Yeah,
coming into
and
himself,
Limp
listening to
Bizkit
Limp
was just
Bizkit.
perfect for it. So
Worst album cover of all time. Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Flavored Water is the worst album cover of all time.
All right. Number 2 on Luntz's list, as we are looking at 2 very separate eras of music.
EG, you should at least know John Fogerty because he plays center field at the baseball game.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah. Oh, you want-
Today.
No, we don't need a copyright. I mean, Spud
No.
won't do it because he's not in tune, but you have the chance.
He's not in tune.
I know probably more of the Woodstock 69 than 99 for sure, actually.
Really?
Yeah. My hidden talent when we learned in Dallas was my ability to play the radio game with Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor. Well, I guess Lance was in the car. Brown, and Forrester. And I kicked butt on the 70s.
So if 70s music pops up as a category, Jim will probably not pass it to you?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
To be fair, Jim was a kid in like the 50s, so.
Okay.
Didn't grow
Move
up around
on
time.
to number 2 here.
Number 2, Santana. Santana is one of those that, like, I didn't really get into Santana until Supernatural, which was in 1999, I believe, is when it came out. That was the one that had Smooth with Rob Thomas, Leave Your Lights On. I actually did for the talent show in 7th grade, which was him and Everlast, I believe. Maria was really good. That was a really good album. Anything off that would be my favorite song. But it's one of those I could just watch him just wail on the guitar back in the day. And then Metallica. I feel like Metallica would probably be number 1 for a lot of people, depending on what your tastes are. But that's somebody I would love to see in concert. I know Lance just went to go see him in concert, and I've heard nothing but it's a great concert to go see. I would have loved to have seen them, Limp Bizkit, in Linkin Park, especially original Linkin Park back in the day, which you can't see anymore. So, that would have been a fun concert, but I'll definitely include Metallica. My favorite song from Metallica, probably one,
That's a good one.
if I had to pick one.
Did you choose Smooth from Santana?
Smooth would probably be my favorite one.
Great song, but obviously not in 6. That was in 19.
Yeah, that was 99, I think is when it came
99.
out.
Yeah.
And once again, I was obsessed with
Black
Matchbox
Magic Woman.
I was
Black
obsessed with
Magic Woman is
Matchbox
pop.
20.
If you have not heard the song Everybody's Everything, it will be on your workout playlist the next time you work out if you just listen to it once. Everybody's Everything.
I will check it out.
It is now
Bad
time.
one knows it.
Well, the story about Santana, and this is just dropping the trivia, which is fun.
He was on psychedelics too, wasn't he?
Well, he was not only on psychedelics, he's related that as to handling like a snake handler. He said he just could not know where the guitar neck was. That's how just out of it he was, and he still put on that performance.
I'd love to hear Santana, maybe not.
Yeah, but no, I saw
that,
him
but-
at Oak Mountain 20-something years ago. He was still great, had the candles all lit and everything. It was great. And, of course, Metallica, I mean, what weight room in football season doesn't have one Metallica song going? Yep. I think Enter Sandman, of course, with the Wrestling Ties is up there.
That Master of Puppets.
But For Whom the Bell Tolls, Third Down. Oh, For Whom the Bell Tolls, let's hit the thing. I wish we took the bell part out of the third downs now because that has ruined that song. But then once the guitars kick in, For Whom the Bell Tolls is still top notch for me.
I'm going to ask a question to Pavlik here in a second, but I want you to go ahead and start writing number 1 up on the big board. I think I know who you're going with for the 69 version of Woodstock.
I do too.
Brian, are you sentimental at all about Oak Mountain Amphitheater and it basically closing up shop here soon?
Yeah, I thought about it the other day. We lived in Montgomery, so it was not a problem to come up an hour, on a work night or anything like that for my dad to say, let's go. And I saw everybody. I always saw people on like their 20th, 5th anniversary tour. Kiss, I saw more times than I care. Leonard Skinner saw more times. But then as I got married, then you got Hootie and the Blowfish, and then you've started getting these, at the time, current acts. Oak Mountain had a great time, had a great atmosphere. And it's one of those cases where I understand why they did it, but man, when they took the lawn seating out, that was the end of it because that lawn area was a party and a half, and that was half the price of admission most of the time just to be in that non-seated general admission lawn.
Pretty soon we're going to have a new amphitheater here in Birmingham as we go to number 1 on Lunce's list. John, talk about your choices.
Hendrix, easy choice at number 1. I'd probably say, even though we have a very sentimental tie to Voodoo Child, I'd probably go Purple Haze over that, but those are probably the top 2. And then my number 1 for 99 is Red Hot Chili Peppers. This was where I kind of started and worked my way backwards. I really like them. I'd probably say Californication is actually my favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers song, but they have a solid catalog. It would be really good. I feel like the 2 I've seen in the chat the most are Rage, who is okay. I mean, I've never been to a Rage show. I wouldn't mind going to one. I just don't necessarily, I don't listen to them a bunch. And the other one was Dave Matthews Band's, and I've already made it pretty much known I'm not a Dave Matthews person.
Yeah, I'm not a Dave Matthews guy either. Rage would have been a good pick, though, but one artist you've got missing from your 99 list.
George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars?
Oh, that would also be a good choice.
I've actually seen them in concert.
DMX.
DMX, yeah. I think when I pulled this up, and Tyler's like, "What's your list today?" And I kind of told him, and I feel like, was it you that said DMX instantly? And I was like, I don't know.
And it was actually a good show, just a complete wrong audience for him. I will say the one you missed was made for that moment in '99 was Kid Rock. Right when Devil Without a Cause was coming out with Ball with the Ball and, I Am the Bull God. And then I realized then how talented of an artist he really is. He played every instrument on stage as kind of the closer, which was really cool. Going to 69, Spud, I know you're a fan of Sly and the Family Stone.
Yeah, that's one. I would have put, now looking at it thoroughly, I would have put Jefferson Airplane maybe at 7. So I have 2 others, Sly and the Family Stone, Crosby, Stills, Nash.
That was my one honorable mention was Crosby, Stills, Nash and
Young.
Yeah.
I would have put on there too. But say if you put those 5 on consecutive nights at Oak Mountain, I'd go all 5 nights.
Yeah.
So that's good choosing. You got 5 of the top 7. That's pretty good.
From 69, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young is my only honorable mention. From 99, a ton of honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going to see. George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars I've actually seen before, believe it or not. But I would see them. James Brown, DMX, Sheryl Crow, Lit, The Roots. That was before The Roots, I feel like, really, really became a thing. But I would see them. I'd go see DMB just because. Kid Rock is on there. Rage, Counting Crows, Alanis Morissette, Ice Cube, Everclear, Everlast, Fatboy Slim, Willie Nelson, Creed, Collective Soul, and Muse. All of those would be plenty good.
Yeah.
But would not make
Wouldn't
my
you
list.
have loved to be at that festival?
I mean, seeing everything I've seen, no. But
Because
just
of,
the music, yes.
How about 69, Brian? Would you love to go back and experience
Would have
that
loved
from
to.
the start?
And I, if I was born then, I would have been the hippie. I would have had the hair and everything. Don't know what I would have gotten into, but I would have been right there with it, enjoying the whole thing.
When I was in college, the movie came out, and we went to a drive-in theater, bunches of us from Rice and a bunch of other people, and instead of sitting in the car with the crazy speakers they used to have, we put them all on the outside of the car, every speaker in the place, and sat on top of the cars. And it was like an outdoor concert going on right there, and people were singing along and dancing, and it was like Woodstock 69 Houston. But it was a night I'll never forget. It was a beautiful evening, spring evening in Houston, and temperature was perfect, and all the people, it was fantastic.
Who played that one, Spud? Selena?
Selena. Is she the one that died?
Yeah, the Queen of Tejano music.
Woodstock's in New York, right?
Yes, Bethel, New York. Max Yasgur's farm. Was the second one there too? The same place?
Down the road.
Okay. But it was a mess, muddy mess. Ran out of food, ran out of water.
I'm not a big music festival person to begin with.
Right.
I mean, City Stages is about the extent of my music festivals. But that's why I would not ever care to actually go to Woodstock. But the acts there, yes, would be good.
Yeah.
If I could see their normal concert. Huh? Yeah, my floating pod. I mentioned with Taylor Swift, I'd love to have a floating pod like about 4 or 5 rows back up that I could just watch her concert. I feel like if I could do that with all these people, I could do it.
That was a Lunce's list. That was one of the first ones.
It was. We talked about movie theaters, how to fix them as well, and you wanted floating pods in movie theaters too.
I mean, why not?
Why not get
What
all
is
the floating
that?
pods we can do?
Just imagine, imagine whatever the perfect seat at a concert is. It's never actually the perfect seat. So imagine like front row at a concert, all right, but you're lifted to where you're almost kind of looking slightly down as opposed to looking up.
Right.
But imagine the height you have about, 30 rows back, but on the front row. And like you're almost like in a little floating pod where you can just watch the show right there. It's almost kind of what you would like if you're watching like a a TV or movie version of
Right.
a concert instead, but like that's your actual seat and you're actually enjoying
Climate
that.
controlled food.
Yeah, and of course you have one of those
Luxury
too.
box is what you
A
want.
luxury box, but literally like front row
Suspended.
elevated, suspended basically from, the Jumbotron, wherever it is. Basically sitting at like where a Jumbotron would be, or like where a scoreboard would be, like in an arena or something like that.
Pretty cool.
Absolutely. E.G., how would you describe today's Meltdown?
Awesome.
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay.
An
I w-
experience.
It was definitely an experience, much like Jimi Hendrix. I appreciate all of you for contributing so much. I don't know. For some reason, I'm absolutely exhausted following today's show. I think it's just having
some
to
reason.
make sure that all of our different personalities were able to interact and we were able to get our teams. But we have our teams set for our tag team trivia league. That should be a lot of fun. Really enjoyed this draft day. I didn't realize it would be this exciting, but at one point it turned into an actual war room where people were making moves. Emotions ran high, and it was very memorable. John, for a memorable experience where you can build up your bankroll all football season long, visit our title sponsor, MyBookie.
Go to mybookie.ag. Use that promo code next round. Always been there in the corner. Promo code next round, and you can get a first deposit bonus on us playing the sports book. For college football, you can play baseball. You can play whatever you want to. Go to the casino and the live casino, mybookie.ag.
Guys, if y'all can, hit that thumbs up button for us here on the video. Really does help. Make sure you check out the Pennant Grace. E.G., when's the next Pennant Grace dropping?
Actually, tonight we're gonna go live.
Mets take the lead.
Awesome.
Go Mets, go!
Oh man, and I
ew.
didn't like Pavlik before.
I know. Anyways, yeah.
You gonna be live
tonight.
during
Nobody
the
can
game?
hear him.
Yeah,
During the
sure.
Braves game tonight?
Right before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Me and my trivia partner, Ush Sisk.
And I will say, there have been a lot of divisions in the Trivia League. Rocky and Laurel have been united throughout this. E.G. and Ush have had multiple times to break apart, and they have decided not to. Everybody
Yep.
else, though, splintered, and we're going to see if that loyalty ends up paying off with another championship match. So it should be a lot of fun. Make sure you're following us here on The Meltdown. Hit that subscribe button if you never want to miss Triple Threat Tornado Tag Team Trivia. Can't wait to get that started back up again. That's going to do it for us here on The Meltdown. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And nobody try to jump scare Spud. It could be very dangerous.